to the flame, duty never fades.
The Rise of the Crane. In the spring of 1571, pale dawn light fractured across the time-worn stones of Hongan-ji Temple, turning mossy walls into ribbons of gold and gray. From the battered ramparts, the distant glint of Oda Nobunaga's banners drifted across the valley like a gathering storm. At 19, Haruto stood barefoot on cool flagstones, his scarred bakken pressed tight to his chest. The dry scent of rice grain and incense stung his nostrils as he watched monks heft sack upon sack against the looming gates. Doubt settled in his gut. Had he betrayed his village by rescuing Kenji, the exiled Azai heir, and pledging himself to these warrior monks? The hollow clang of steel against wood from the outer walls answered his turmoil. Fear of treason warred with his fierce desire to defend these people. When his palms grew raw, stacking rice bags, a flicker of purpose ignited within him. No longer a simple peasant, he was becoming something more, a bulwark against destruction. Under the shadow of towering eaves, 18-year-old Aiko slipped through corridors lit only by trembling lantern flame. Her dark kosode rustled against silent stone as she pressed her spine to the wall and let her jade-green eyes sweep every loophole and arrow slit. Concealed beneath her sleeve, the gleaming curve of a kunai felt like cold iron comfort. She had abandoned her Iga clan's ancient code to spirit Kenji away, turning her lethal training into a quiet rebellion, and guilt gnawed at her heart. Was she villain or savior? Then she glimpsed Haruto's resolute profile, the way he braced rice sacks with monkish calm, and her doubt hardened into resolve. If this was her new path, she would prove its worth. 11-year-old Kenji trailed behind them both, flute in hand, its polished wood warm against his palm. Though the monks had offered him sanctuary, every distant war horn, each harsh blast of trumpet or drum made him flinch. Still, when Haruto lifted him onto a stack of supplies and Aiko brushed a stray lock of hair from his forehead, hope flickered in his wide eyes. He clung to their steady courage, longing to find bravery of his own. By 1573, Oda's blockade choked the valley. The sweet scent of fresh rice faded into acrid smoke from distant fires, and hunger sharpened every mind. Haruto exchanged his bakken for a true katana, its steel edge singing under candlelight as he practiced strikes with the monks' instructors. Night after night his swings grew keener, each cut a nail driven against his lingering shame. Then came the moonless raid. Haruto led a handful of monks into enemy lines, blades flashing under starlight as they rifled through earthen storehouses. Heart hammering, he returned triumphantly, shoulders squared to the cheers echoing off stone corridors. When Aiko found him there, he set aside his sword and, voice steady as temple bells, declared,
"I'm not running anymore."
And in that moment, the memory of Lord Kimura's betrayal faded. Protecting Kenji and the faithful was his only honor. Not long after, in the reed-choked banks beyond the temple moat, Aiko undertook her boldest mission. Slipping between bulrushes like a silent shadow, one humid night in 1574, she overheard Oda's captains plotting to flood Hongan-ji. Damp earth pressed against her chest as she raced back, breath rasping to deliver her warning. By lantern glow, the monks christened her Shadow Blade, a name that thawed her guilt into pride. Yet when darkness fell, she still wrestled with loss of her old self. Seated beside Haruto beneath a shivering lantern flame, she whispered,
"I broke my clan's rules. What am I now?"
He caught her gaze, his brown eyes steady fires.
"You're our strength."
He answered, and her heart stilled. Meanwhile, Kenji, now 13, knelt beside wounded brothers and sisters, learning to wrap bandages and pour cooling tea over fevered brows. Each life spared made his chest swell with quiet courage.
I want to help like you,
He said one evening to Haruto, voice soft as linen. Haruto ruffled his dark hair and smiled.
You already are.
In that gentle acknowledgment, Kenji's fear melted into purpose. In the spring of 1575, Haruto's leadership flowered. He sketched a daring plan to storm Oda's supply tents and burn their stores as wildfire, blades flickering like cranes in flight. Smoke curled black against the dawn sky, and when the embers died, the temple would eat for months. The monks hailed him the crane of Hongan-ji, and his doubts fell away entirely. He drilled fresh recruits day and night, his voice calm as he passed on the tactics that had carried him from peasant to warrior. By 1577, Aiko's spy network stretched like spider silk through Oda's camps. She taught young women to melt into shadow, to slip past guards and steal crucial intelligence. When she returned one rain-lashed night, her soaked kimono clinging to slender form, she told Haruto,
I thought I'd lost myself. Now I know who I am.
He took her hand, proud smile in his eyes.
You're our heart.
Kenji, 15, organized food rations and soothed hungry children with quiet songs. His gentle authority wove the temple's factions into a single tapestry of hope.
You're stronger than you think.
Aiko told him as he distributed grain, and in each nod of a grateful face, Kenji found a new measure of courage. By 1579, cannon fire shuddered through Hongan-ji's outer walls, and starvation weighed on every soul. Yet Haruto, now commander of the defense, rallied the weary with stratagems born of years of raids. In the hush before dawn, he whispered orders that unspooled like silken threads, delaying Nobunaga's captains again and again. Aiko, leading her scouts with razor-sharp cunning, sabotaged powder stores beneath enemy guard. Each spark of mischief bought precious days. Together they outwitted assailants and held the temple's battered stones. Kenji, 19, stood in the temple's sick bay, under flickering oil lamps, overseeing a small army of healers. His steady hands bound wounds. His calm voice quelled panic as walls shook to cannon fire.
We'll survive,
He promised a trembling monk, and in that vow, the community found its anchor. When 1580 dawned, Oda's final ultimatum came like thunder: surrender or see every rebel slaughtered. The imperial court pressed for peace, but Haruto refused to abandon the temple that had reshaped him.
We fought too long.
He told the assembly of monks, voice echoing through gilded chambers. Aiko, sharp-minded, resolute, revealed a narrow smuggling tunnel beneath the eastern moor. As dawn's first gray light crept over shattered tiles, she marshaled a small party to slip away. Kenji gathered medicine, grain, and stripped down armor, his calm presence smoothing frayed nerves. On August 1st, while Oda's scouts massed for their final thrust, Haruto led a daring diversion, steel flashing in the pale morning light as he dueled shadowy horsemen along a ridge. Behind him, Iko guided Kenji and a handful of monks through the damp, claustrophobic tunnel. They emerged in a coastal marsh where an oar-pounded Mori clan boat waited, its black hull silent against the silver-green water. Haruto joined them, armor dented and stained with his own blood, yet shoulders unbowed. Under cover of a half-lit sky, they slipped away, leaving Hongan-ji's battered glow to fade on the eastern horizon. As oars cut through midnight blue waves, the three companions stood at the prow, Haruto, gaze fixed on the temple's vanished silhouette, felt not shame, but fierce pride in the community he'd defended. Aiko's dark hair danced in the salty breeze. Her eyes shone clear of doubt. Kenji, staff in hand, tall and calm, exhaled hope into the night. Though their flight was born of necessity, it was more than escape. It was spark and seed. Haruto's raids had spread Oda's forces thin. Aiko's intelligence whispers traveled between rebellious daimyo. Kenji's compassion had held Hongan-ji together when all seemed lost. In western Japan, the Mori clan welcomed them as living legends. Haruto, now a strategist of renown, drilled warriors in swift, precise tactics. Aiko wove a new web of spies, her coded dispatches fueling uprisings in distant provinces. Kenji walked between wary lords, his healer's presence forging fragile truces. Their names, Crane of Hongan-ji, Shadowblade, the healer of stones, became talismans of defiance. As Nobunaga's empire splintered under rumors of betrayal and uprising, the three survivors of the siege stood ready. Their bond, forged in sweat and blood beneath Hongan-ji's walls, now glowed like a beacon that could reshape Japan's fate. Acrid, sharp or bitter, especially in smell or taste. The acrid smoke from the burning village stung her eyes. Assailant, an attacker or aggressor. The assailant charged with a spear, but she dodged swiftly. Claustrophobic, feeling cramped or confined, causing discomfort. The claustrophobic tunnel made his heart race with fear. Keener, sharper or more intense, often in skill or perception. His keener blade cut through the enemy's defenses with ease. Loophole, a small opening in a wall for shooting or observation. He peered through the loophole to spot the approaching enemy. Stratagem, a clever plan or tactic to outwit an opponent. Her stratagem to sabotage the enemy's supplies saved the fort. Talisman, an object believed to bring luck or protection. The small charm she carried felt like a talisman against danger. Unspooled, unraveled or unfolded, like thread or a plan. His orders unspooled smoothly, guiding the team to victory.
Cherry blossoms drip, blood on snow they paint the ground. Whispers of the wind.
Crimson petals fall, honor calls me to the flame. Duty never fades.
Lone shadow stands underneath the crimson sky. Steel meets trembling brand.
The wind weeps tonight, soft as sorrow's quiet song.